In this video, we're going to be looking at proportions. Our objectives are to understand what a ratio is, to understand what a proportion is, and to understand how to solve a proportion. Our vocabulary is a ratio, comparison of two numbers. Proportion, two ratios set equal to each other. And reciprocal, which is basically the flip of a fraction. First, we need to understand the difference between a ratio and a proportion and the ways to write each. So in a ratio, we have three basic ways to write them. We can write them as a number to another number, so 5 to 2. We can write it with a colon in between, 5:2, or we can write it as a fraction, 5/2. These fractions as ratios are never written as mixed numbers, so 5/2 never becomes 2 1/2 in this situation, so we leave it 5/2. Here's another example. 4 to 6 is the same as 4:6, or 4/6. Now, something like 4/6, because it's capable of being reduced, we can turn that into 2/3 using our ability to reduce fractions. Some examples of proportions would be 3/4 equals 6/8. This is one that's already completed. There's no missing numbers. We just can use either our basic knowledge to know they're the same, or we can reduce 6/8 to prove that 3/4 is the same. Then we can also have missing numbers, which we would then solve for the missing numbers. So in this case, we have 5/9 equals x/27, and 2/6 equals 5/x. So the missing numbers are within these problems, but they're still proportions. These are just proportions that we would then have to solve or find the missing value. So now we actually want to practice solving these proportions. So my first proportion I have over here is 2/5 equals x/20. Well, the idea here when we solve is that we want to do the opposite. So a proportion is always a division problem, meaning we're always going to want to use multiplication to solve these problems. So I have x/20, which means I have x divided by 20. So to solve this, I want to multiply by 20. That'll cancel these out. Anything I do on one side, I must do to the other. So I'm going to multiply by 20. Now, this 20 is really 20/1 if we write it as a fraction. So we're going to multiply 20 by 2, which gives us 40. We're going to multiply 1 by 5, which gives us 5. And this will equal x. Then we have 40/5, which we can either get a calculator out and divide it, do the division in our head, or just reduce the fraction depending on the situation. We'll use different techniques. So 40 divided by 5 is really 8. So we know that x is 8. So this really should have been 8/20 instead of x/20. Our next example is y/12 equals 10/8. Again, we have y divided by 12, so we're going to multiply by 12. This is the same as 12/1. 12 times 10 is 120. 8 times 1 is 8, equals y. Now this one may be a little bit tougher for people to do in their head, so this is where we might get out a calculator or a phone to do a little calculation. So I'm going to take 120 divided by 8, and I get 15. So in this case, we're saying y should be 15. Okay? We also sometimes have this situation where our our unknown is on the bottom. In these situations, what we found is the reciprocal of fractions stays equal, such as, an example of this would be 1 over 3 equals 2 over 6. These are equal to each other. Well, 3 over 1, the reciprocal, is equal to the reciprocal 6 over 2. So what we can do is we can flip these and make them like the previous problems. So this problem here becomes 4 over 3 equals x over 9. This problem here becomes y over 20 equals 6 over 12. And in each of these situations, we now have a problem like the previous setup. So we just go about times by 9, times by 9. It's going to give us 36 over 3 is x. So 12 equals x. Here we're going to multiply by 20. That's going to give us 120 over 12 equals y, meaning y is 10. Alright, thank you for watching this video. If there's any questions or you need to rewatch the information again, please pause, rewind, watch again, or just come back to it later. Thank you.